Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantele Francis. With one of my co-hosts up top, we have Michele. How you doing tonight, Michele?
I'm good. You know, this show always delivers. I'm a little sad about a couple things, especially losing such another great person on my team. Probably my second pick for guys.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not feeling awesome in terms of point-wise. I think I'm pretty in the dust at this point. But let me just say, we all know, in the end, I felt satisfied by this episode.
Me too. And we also have Fanta, of course, coming in tonight. How are you feeling, Fanta?
I'm feeling great. I'm really loving this season so far. It's keeping me very intrigued. And Michele, did you change your hair?
No, I have little buns today.
But the color looks lighter.
I think just because as I wash it, it gets lighter. I don't know.
Okay, I feel that. That was my burning question.
Burning question is that my hair used to be red and now it's questionable.
What color is that? Is that fire orange? Is that strawberry? I don't know. So episode 3.
Chantele, how are you? Nobody asks you.
No one asks you how you are.
The usual. I'm just exhausted, but I'm happy to be here. I definitely, this show, no matter what, I'm always excited to watch it. It's never like I have to watch the challenge. Like sometimes with these shows, like for the instance, the end of Love Island, I was kind of like, I don't feel like watching Love Island because I don't like what's happening in the villa right now. So with this, I'm just pumped to come and sit down and watch it. And I wish I wasn't tired because I just want to talk about it for 5 hours because I love this season. I love this show. I'm loving the rookies. I don't care. Who is this person? I don't know who I am. I don't recognize myself anymore. So that's how I am today. And another episode delivered. Truce or Dare, episode 3. I was trying to figure out where the truce was going to come in or not. We kind of get that resolved at the end. But the beginning, I had to roll my eyes. I started this episode with an eye roll because in the previously on, it ends with, that's how you execute a plan. Did that annoy anybody else as much as it annoyed me?
Honestly, I skipped through the previously on because I didn't want to be reminded. I was just like, and we're going to skip to the episode because I don't need to see that stupidity again.
Yes, totally. Sorry, what, Fanta?
Working smarter, not harder.
Oh, I just said 2 minutes ago that I love the rookies and I love this season, but I still can't stand Fessy and Josh. And there wasn't that much of them this episode, but there was one point where I was just like, shut up. Nobody asked you, but we'll see if you guys can point out when that happened. So Tori carries Ed in because he's the champion, and then Emy carries, I think she carried Devin in as a joke. I think so. And so they ask Emy, what made you take Devin? And she admits that he was pointing to himself, which I thought was hilarious.
I have so many thoughts and feelings about this moment because, first of all, I'm like, okay, so now it's not an actual thought out plan from Devin. His plan is really just to see which rookies I can manipulate and make sure I can see how many of them I can get on my side or whatever. And then, so that's A. So he didn't really care about Michele specifically. And then B, why the hell is she fucking saying that to everyone? And then she goes into the confessional and talks about how he's smart and smartness is so good, but she's being so stupid socially. She's not playing a good strategic game at all. So it was just so weird and absurd to witness that whole scene.
Fanta, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. Every time I see her, I'm just like, shut up. But then also at the same time, I remember because we talked about this last week, she's 21. So I'm like, I guess so. But I'm so all over the place about Emy. I can't stand her, but also at the same time, she's just crazy, but entertaining, but uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I was just thinking too, like, just like you, Michelle, like, I was like, Emy, zip it. Like, you like, that's not, and it's all to all these vets. So like, oh, he's putting up his hand. Like, they're going to know that Devin is up to something. So I think it was a miscalculation on his part because like Emy has proven herself to be a bit of a loose cannon and doesn't really like know how to zip it at all. And so I was like, it could be a little bit of a detriment to his game that to have somebody that like is so open to out, like that he had his hand up. Like Michelle might be pissed.
And also, like, in what way does he think that he's going to win a daily with Emy? With Michelle, he had way more of a chance to win a daily and get power. And he always wants power. It's Devin. So, like, I don't understand why he would let go of Michelle. And also, I agree, then, like, Michelle might have some weird feelings about that. I don't know if she heard. Maybe she doesn't know, like, that he did the exact same thing. But
I see what you're saying. I do think it does make sense, like mostly because of what Chantele just said in regards to just like having control of more rookies. Mm-hmm. And I think that Emy is definitely capable of winning when it counts or like winning some dailies here and there. Mm-hmm. And I think that he could probably see the writing on the wall with the Survivor people and was like, I kind of want to jump ship here.
Yeah,
that's staying with Michelle isn't really particularly going to get Devin far. Whereas I feel like with Emy, like he can kind of like hide behind her a bit because even though Emy is like not shutting up, she's still just on everyone's back burner. Like no one's really taking her seriously, and nobody will for a while.
That's true.
Well, I kind of think, I agree with both of you, obviously, but I'm feeling more so that Devin might be doing it to gain some numbers in the rookies in case one of the rookies ever gets some power, right? I think that then people will just be like championing for him. Michelle will be like, no, don't put Devin in because maybe they don't think that Devin will ever put them in. So out of the bets, it might be a number for them in the future. So like maybe you're right, Michelle. Maybe he is trying to build a little bit of a reciprocal relationship with some of the rookies. And like if he's with as many rookies as he can, he's never going to be on their target list. He would only have to worry about the vets coming for each other. And then we also learned in this episode that he does not want the rookies to start going, or the vets to start going against each other. So maybe that's what he's trying to do, is he's trying to be protected from both ends. I could see him doing that. And he doesn't really care because if that means that he won't get thrown in by a rookie if a rookie wins, and vets have a truce for right now. So he'll just lose his partner, maybe. Like they'll just like, okay, we'll send Emy in if they don't have anybody to throw in, and he'll be safe still. So
yeah, that's true. That is smart. Because if and when a rookie team eventually wins a daily, they are like, he's going to be at the bottom of their list because he's always going to be partnered with a rookie and he has better relationships with them and they have bigger fish to fry probably. And he's not being outwardly any type of way. So you're totally right on that. Yeah. That's smart.
Yeah, it's kind of smart, Devin. I was just kind of like, I thought that he might have wanted to win, but no, I think he's just trying to position himself to get to as far as he can before the bloodbath of the vets start. And I don't think he'll ever be a target of the rookies. Ever.
No, not for a while. Like it doesn't really make sense for them.
I think he's not scary competitively because he's usually with a rookie player that hasn't been performing that well. And he's been partnered with them. So they have relationships with him. They feel like maybe he's on their side a little bit more than some of the other people. So talking that through, I think it's actually a good move. Before I was like, why is he with her? Like, why is he? You know what, Devin? We'll give it to you now.
He's a strategist. He's a strategist.
And that's kind of sexy. Not gonna lie, I was like, okay, did he just come up with a really good plan that I didn't think of right away? Okay, Devin, that's hot. So Tori wants to get to know Ed a little bit more, and what's that mean? Ben says that Tori's canceled.
Yeah, I have some tea about that specifically. So go on.
Oh my God, I want to know.
Oh, so it's the end to be able to talk about this? Ah!
No,
okay.
No, we can talk about it now. So
I'm going to talk about it now.
As you're saying, Tori wants to get to know Ed, obviously. So today, was it today? Yeah, today, Corey L tweets, Tori spent more time trying to get to know Ed as her partner in 5 minutes than she ever spent trying to get to know me as hers. And then Amanda responded and was like, that's because she said she wanted to fuck him despite him having a girlfriend back home.
Wow, that's Tori.
Classic messy Tori.
That is Tori.
And Amanda just lays that out there. Amanda is savage. Like, no one is safe. If Amanda knows your
is
shit.
This why Tori's canceled? Not because of the elimination, or is it something else? Like, or
I
is
don't
it what
know,
you're
but
saying?
like, oh my God, that is crazy. That's amazing. And that's so real. I'm happy that Cory like said that. Like, that was like acknowledged that like she knew he wasn't like a possible option for her to hook up with, so he wasn't worth her time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we know it's her game.
Yeah, I mean, this episode, as we know, is going to be a Tori slaughter. But I just thought I read that tweet and I died. Or those tweets and I died.
I'm obsessed with that. Thank you.
Do we get like Twitter feud points?
I know, right?
There should be like extra
He's
points.
getting some fight points later on. It's fine.
So good. All right. So this is one of the eye rolled Fessy moments of the episode. So Big T talks to Fessy and asks why didn't he tell her about the plan? And he's kind of like, oh, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was happening. And he's not even good at lying. He always has this like slight smile on his lips when he's like, either when he wins a confessional and he's trying to look humble, or when he's lying to Big T, he just kind of looks like he's like trying not to laugh. And I'm just like so annoyed. Like, at least be straight with Big T to a certain degree. Why are you pretending like she's not right, that you kept something from her?
Exactly.
So over him. So he didn't know, apparently. And then we see Tommy working out. So the challenge gods must have heard that I was giving Fanta a new task on the episode, because there wasn't a club scene, but there was some slow-mo workout sessions, and we get introduced to Nelly's boot camp. So do you have any thoughts about this whole segment, Fanta, that they made specifically for you?
I actually missed that. I missed
No!
the
I mean, okay, I can step in for this week.
Thanks, girl. Appreciate you.
It was entertaining in that it kept panning back and forth of like the vets laying around tanning at the pool, and then Nelson leading a boot camp where he's making all the rookies like run and like lift shit and do like the rope thing and like blah blah blah, and like Cory's doing it with them, and
you know that Anaconda's playing while this is going on.
Yeah,
Like,
Anaconda.
My Anaconda don't. My Anaconda
it was
don't.
so ridiculous. And the thing is, yeah, it was okay until it was like Bertha was doing stuff and he's like, yeah, you got, and like the things he was saying, and then him in the confessional, like I've never been more grossed out by Nelson than this episode. Like some of his confessionals and just like his behavior was so like predatory and like gross. Like I don't know, I was just like not into what he was serving.
Yeah, Nelson was gross this episode.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he's really horny with Berna.
Like but you, how can you were just fucking this person that you live in the same place as them and you've done multiple seasons with them, and you like
down the street. Don't they live down the street from each other?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like,
so Nelson's house is going to be burned down to the ground when they get back.
Gosh, also, Ashley kind of just knows, though, that, like, she does live next to him. So, like, he can't really get that far away from her unless he moves. So, I'd be scared if I was, like, my Anaconda getting chopped off, like Lorena Bobbitt styles. Like, I wouldn't be messing with Ashley, especially if she lives so close. Like, that's terrifying. But it was a funny segment. And I like seeing how strong Berna was, but I wrote down, I was like, if I'm seeing like it's a focus on Berna being strong and focus on Berna, like, and Nelson's attention and Ashley making these confessionals that she's like, oh, I hope that she doesn't do well. Like, I was like, I'm worried for Berna here because it seems like they're painting something, storyline.
Yeah, I felt the same.
Berna. I really like her though. I think that she looks really strong, and I like that she seems to have a game face mode, and I love that concentration, like that like focus that you get when you're like working out or when you're doing something really difficult. Like I really like that intense focus energy, and it's probably because she wants to stay alive because she's doing tightrope stuff or other acrobats for the circus. But I really think that she has the potential to be a very, very good challenge competitor. Do you guys have the same thoughts about her?
Agreed. Just everything about her. She's just so interesting. She's just so like level-headed and mysterious. Like,
but why is she interested in Nelson?
That is the only thing wrong with her.
I cannot get behind her because of this.
People can't be perfect, I suppose. And that's...
Well, we're not yuck and yums, right?
It's so misguided. It's so... Probably watched the only season where he saved Cory, and like that's the only time she's seen him. And like just watched that episode and didn't see when he yelled at Kayla. Because like, how does she have this impression of him?
Seeing his confessionals. So maybe after she watches the season, she's like, oh, that's the guy that I've been cuddling with. I think that then she might rethink her cuddle buddy situation.
Yeah, I would be very hard pressed to think that she's going to want to continue that for the whole season. I think Nelson's more into it than she is.
Yeah, I think like she's only really said like, oh, he's so cute. Like when he runs, he's cute. Like I think he is probably a cute guy, and he's probably like big and cuddly, and like he's a vet, and he's kind of taking her under his wing. And I wouldn't be surprised if she was dating CT, but like it seems that he's with his wife right now, so like that wasn't an option. But like that would have been something that I can see happening. So I think it's because he's a vet and he's showing her attention, and it's comforting, I would say, like to not be in the game alone.
Of course, yeah. We'd all drop our standards if we were locked in that house, I think.
Would you guys canoodle with Nelson?
Never.
Never.
Never?
Never.
Never.
I don't think I could either. Nelson or Cory? You do Cory over Nelson or neither?
Yeah. I mean, neither.
Neither.
There's a choice.
Cory, you said it.
Oh my God, no.
Well, speaking of Cory, but other Cory L, he's talking to Gabo, and I'm just like, I feel like it's going to be falling on deaf ears because it seems like Gabo doesn't have a mind for the game at all. So I'm like, Cory, like, I feel like you shouldn't be spilling the fact that you're worried about the rookies to Gabo, because Gabo is better situated than you are.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Continue. No. Continue.
Go ahead. Okay.
I was just going to say, like, that was such an uncomfortable moment because he's saying all this stuff and Gabo is literally like, yeah. Like, you're not even pretending that you're going to try to do anything. You can't even think beyond the fact that you have right now, currently in this moment, a veteran person who's your partner. Like, they can still throw you in individually. Do you realize that? Like, after they throw a rookie, they can easily pick you. Easily. And also, like, don't you have any long-term plans in the game? Like, shouldn't you even consider working with the rookies? Like, there was a point where there was more of them last week. They could have literally.
I don't think Gabo was a long-term thinker.
No.
He just wants to get on American television, which he's done now.
He's already accomplished his goal.
Yeah. So right now it's probably like staying in the game with a hot girl for as long as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. And they're probably getting a stipend, so that's pretty good. And like, I mean, for me, I would be obsessed with like trying all these challenges. Like, it's so fun and exciting, but it doesn't seem like he cares that much. So weird. But of course, Gabo's going to feel safe. He has Nany. Nany isn't going anywhere. Like, she is seemingly so chill right now. Like, right?
No, she's not going to get thrown in for so long. It's similar to CT, but a bit different, obviously. But like, no one, because you don't have to go in, she doesn't have that worry she's had the past 2 seasons of worrying when she's going to have to go in. She knows, like, she's so good with everyone. She probably will never get thrown in.
Yeah.
until the maybe right before the end, depending on who's left. If she's like the weakest seeming one, like maybe someone would choose to go against her. But she's flying good for now.
Definitely. And she's probably just going to keep this partner and just make her look weak, make her not look like a big competitive threat, and then like get rid of him, get someone good, like, 10 episodes from now.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
So I love this. And tell me if I get some points here for that, or we get some points. Michele, you have Michele, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Michele Fitzgerald is feeling a certain type of way over, I think, Cutie Pie Emanuel, and they're cuddling. They do mention, so Emanuel mentions in his confessional that they have been cuddling and kissing.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that because they didn't show it, but they admitted to it. So, like, does that count as a hookup or does it not because we didn't see it? And we know we're gonna see it next week.
Yeah, if we don't see it, then
okay.
I think we need to see it. As much as I'd love to get a point finally, but no.
Okay, I put it down as a maybe because I wasn't sure how you guys would feel about it, but I like this grouping. We know that we had speculations about it from preseason, and I'm happy that it's between the two of them. I really like Michele. I really love her on the challenge. I like her having this little flirt mance or whatever with Emanuel. I think it's like it's exactly what I want out of a rookie season. This is it.
Yeah, Michele is made for reality TV. She's absolute perfection. And Lil T, this was her last chance to get on the challenge. They cast the twins, Liz and Julia from Big Brother, over casting Michele in War of the Worlds. And then they kept trying to get like Michele on, timing wasn't working. And then for this season, they called her, they're like, hey, this is your last chance. And then she was like, oh shit, okay, yeah, obviously I want to go on the show. The twins over Michele Fitzgerald.
Was like the twins of it all, though. That's why. Yeah, and then one twin didn't even get on the show, and so like the whole dynamic of it being twins was gone. But they wanted twins. Like that's why.
I can't believe that she was going to be on it before.
Yeah,
wow.
On it for a while, but
I'm glad she's on it, and I hope she's here to stay.
Yeah, everything about her, like her social game, is insane. It's insane, and she's gorgeous. She's so charming. I would marry her if I could. Anyway, what were we talking
about? I love Michele. I mean, I want to play a reality game with her. I want to be like my Michele here. Like, you know what I mean? Like we worked really well together. Like I feel like I'd work well with the Michele Fitzgerald as well. She'd be my final two for sure. For sure. So the daily is going to be a sea cave recon. And so basically they have to like dive into this like cave that's filled with water and swim through it, get to a kind of little shore area inside the cave, pick up a bomb, swim to what was it? What are they called? A wave runner. And get dragged towards the shore, and then swim to the shore and detonate the bomb. So they were showing this in the previews, and it looked terrifying, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. They really, really amped up like Michelle's bloody nose, and people saying this is the scariest thing I've ever done. So, what do you guys think of this daily? Any standouts?
I loved the daily. I thought it was such a cool, fun challenge. I mean, you have the height scare at the beginning, which only scares certain people, obviously. Then you have the element of like the water and the wind and like the rocks and like going through the cool cave. And so there's a little bit of swimming, a little bit of endurance and like speed. So I thought it was like a really cool challenge. And I enjoyed it. Obviously, I didn't enjoy who won. But I was really hoping for a rookie team to win. I really wanted Cory and Michele to get this one. But it was cool to watch. And I think it was like a good building block, of building skills to be able to do a final. I think it was like a nice thing that was like a little bit more unique.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, did you have a thought too?
I liked the daily. I didn't love it. But Michelle's badass. Hughie.
Oh my god.
Hughie.
When she kissed him after he puked.
After he puked. Oh my god, that sicked me out. But I loved that. I mean, I love Ashley no matter what. Like, she is just a mess and I love her. But I love how she was like, no, like, let's go. Like, we're doing this. You're not like not
I loved that.
I love that. And I don't know how to feel about Hughie. Like, I guess I kind of feel the same way about Emy. I feel like he's just like, in the beginning, he's like, oh, I'm a tough competitor and all of this stuff. And I'm like, bro, you're flailing. Like, every challenge, there's always something comes up that like you freak out about. But I do kind of find him like a little funny, but I don't love him.
But also, how fast was he swimming?
Yeah, he did a good job in the end. Like, I like the fact that like he was like climbing away and Ashley has to like drag him back to do this. He's puking, he's terrified. And then he even calls it, saying that like he turns on some superhero power because of this fear that he has. And he's waiting on Ashley at the end. And so they weren't even able to beat Aneesa and Logan at this point. But he did make it to the detonator before Ashley. So I did like that he was like, wasn't the weak link in that partnership, even though he was the most scared to begin with.
For sure. He's kind of like Emy in that way. Like, he like does this like flaily thing, but then he like does kind of show up a bit.
Yeah. I kind of like him. I think that he does need to grow on all of this. All of us, like, you know, moving forward. He has another good moment that I'll bring up later that I definitely enjoyed. And so he's growing on me. Absolutely. So yeah, there was blood gushing from Michelle's face, but whoever was in the water with her didn't want to say anything because they didn't want to freak her out. So she didn't even know that she was like bleeding from the nose. And this is where Tori kind of has like she's got to go. She's recognizing how strong Michelle is for the fact that she's not even stopping for any blood. And she gets to the detonator pretty quickly. So I'm like, I want her to be off of Tori's radar because Tori's just so jealous of like any other woman that's potentially strong.
Literally.
Right?
Yeah. I'm sitting on my Tori rant until later.
Okay, it's coming. I mean, I can't wait. At the end of this, I have a bit of a rant to go with for sure. And I love that somebody else on the show had a little bit of some words for Miss Tori. I was like, that's your deal, Miss Tori. So Berna was scared to jump, but she ends up doing it. And like, so I like that she seems to get over her fear pretty quickly and then do well. I think that's going to make a good competitor out of her. And then Tommy, so he was on his like whip runner. And everybody was kind of laughing because, like, I guess his pants were kind of being pulled down and he was mooning everybody. But it seems as though he completely...
CT was mooning everybody.
Oh.
And then Tommy, like, had his dick out.
Well, I thought it was...
He
lost
his pants completely.
I thought what it started out with was Tommy mooning by accident and then realizing that his pants were down. So it was both. Okay. I saw CT moon after, but I thought that...
No, CT was the first ass they showed.
Okay, I wasn't sure. They're both very pale, so I couldn't tell which pale butt was whose. I need to have like the name tracker on like, this is CT's moon. I felt uncomfortable by the fact that Tommy's pants were completely gone. It just seemed a little bit, there was something like a violating kind of thing, even because they were laughing at him. And especially now knowing that he was concussed and he was kind of had to see medical after this. And while he's seeing medical, like they're blurring out his nether regions and like having blankets over top of him. And he's just asking for pants. And it was just kind of, I don't know. I felt like it was a bit of a voyeur moment that made me a little bit feel like I shouldn't be there. I shouldn't be watching this.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite. I think that like definitely like the CT of it all is more comical because it's like just his ass, but there was like, and like CT just, it didn't really faze him. Obviously, I think we've all seen CT's ass before. But yeah, the whole Tommy component of it was a bit uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm like, oh, Tommy, what's going on? What's going on? And so, you know, he kind of stumbles back down to the group and everybody's kind of being like, yeah, like, you're good. Like, you know, reassuring him that like he did a good job, et cetera, et cetera. But people were noticing that he kind of seemed dazed. He kind of seemed a little bit more out of it than usual. So, you know, put a pin in that, like a little bit worried about Tommy, but hopefully everything's going to be okay. So Tasha and Jeremiah weren't able to finish this. Tasha seemed to have quit the challenge. And it is a challenging one. And other Cory, was kind of saying like he gets it. He hasn't had like the best time in swimming challenges, so he understands why they may have quit. But him and Bettina do finish. We didn't get to hear her laugh this week. It was such a high point last episode. Apparently, the video of her laughing went viral and has like I don't know, like 20 million views or something like that on TikTok. I put one up too. I don't think I got that many. I think I got like 1,000, but like it was funny. Her laugh is pretty intense. We didn't get any of it though. I'm sad. So Amy had to convince Kyle to jump, which was funny because I'm like, Kyle has such talk all the time. Like the fact that he's scared of anything, I'm always just like, oh, right. You're just such a shit disturber and you talk a lot of game, but like you actually are a little scaredy cat. And I thought it was funny. I like
Did you guys know that Kyle has type 1 diabetes?
No.
So he's just been doing all of these challenges and has been taking like shots and stuff.
Really? I don't know the difference between type 1 and type 2.
I believe that it just depends on like how you get it, but like it's still crazy because it's like
insulin shots like at random times kind of thing.
Like, yeah, and you have to like check your blood sugar, and like also like there's so many times where like especially for the finals where they're like not eating and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how he would do that.
So he hid it. He hid it from production when he got cast for a really long period of time because he thought that they would not want him on the show.
Oh.
I mean, I can understand that because it could be considered a liability insurance wise. That's I mean, that's hard. That's hard for him. Like, so I guess it's good now that he's like entrenched in it. So like they can't remove him from being on the show because of that, because that would be a legal issue, I would say. But beforehand, they could have maybe prevented him from being on the show. So I think that good call, because I think that he's definitely a really great addition to the series. Like, so I hope that he stays well though, because that's like I don't know how I would deal with something like that constantly on a show like that.
I think people, like anyone that I've known that has diabetes, just like it's just part of them and they just like learn how to deal with it. But it's pretty commendable that he can do all of that, like because so much of it has to do with your blood sugar.
Yeah.
So
wow, it's very impressive. So the top 2 teams, and they're separated by less than a second, are Ed and Tori and Michele and Cory. Guess who won that one? Ed and Tori. Were we excited about this?
I mean,
no. Why couldn't Michele and Cory have won this one?
It would have been so epic.
It would have been second. I mean, it would put a bigger target on their back, absolutely, but it might have allowed them to shake things up a little bit. Like
it would have. They could easily put in at least a vet.
And they would have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They would have. They wouldn't have been afraid to do that.
And it didn't end up that way for us. We have Ed and Tori going to be forming the agency. So whatever Tori wants to happen this week is going to happen. I'm just like, why me? Why us? Did this have to happen? Why does she have to be the best one this week? So frustrating, but we'll deal, I suppose. But Big T is worried about the fact that Tori is going to want to get revenge. I didn't even really remember that Big T made this move. Okay, you have some thoughts about this, Fanta. Come on, tell me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess here's ripping the Band-Aid off or opening the box of the Tori stuff. But I just feel as though like, so basically, like, after the challenge, like when they get back to the house and she's sitting with Aneesa and Devin, and they're kind of like, they're making a decision of like, okay, like, great, we're in a good position, like, who should we put in? And it's just, she just always creates these really lukewarm, lame narratives. And you can tell she's trying really, really hard to make a story. But it's just never interesting. And it's not good, because you're right. I was like, oh yeah, that thing, like, that happened so early in that season. Like, nobody remembers and nobody cares. Like, it's just not enough to warrant revenge, or as Tori likes to say, karma. Like, it's just so, like, she just, all of it just immediately goes to her head, and it just is not strategic or fun to watch.
No, it's like Big T is not really that much of a threat. She is somebody that's more likely to be a number on your side, that if perchance she gets some power, she could maybe not throw you in this time around. You can make a truce. So just the fact that, like, you know, even later on when she says, like, well, like, you know, you're the only person that I have, like, a reason to put in there. And I was like, shut up, Tori. Like, you don't have to put her in here right now. You could figure out a way to work with Big T. Why did you have to make Big T the enemy?
Yeah, I felt like, personally, I was happy, because at that point I was like, okay, well, the target's off Michele for now. But
Michele would have been the move. Like, that would have been the person that you put in there.
Selfishly, I was like, I need Michele to still be there. But at the same time, everything that Devin was saying was logical. Like, if you do this, you're opening the door for anyone else to do a vet against a vet and just say, like, hey, you opened the door for it. You did it. You broke the truce. You don't want to be the first person to break the truce. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be that person. And, like, for her to do that, like, even consider it so early is just so stupid and annoying.
Yeah, and even yes, the consideration, like, but also like the public consideration of it all. To just be like parading it the whole time and being like, revenge, 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 karma, karma, karma. Like, it would be one thing if she just did it in confessionals and was like, okay, like, I'm still butthurt about this, blah, blah, blah. But, like, the fact that she, like, pulls Kyle and Big T aside and is looking this woman in her eyes, in her goddamn eyes, and is like, yeah, like, I'm going to do it. I'm like, even if you think that there's a part of you that thinks that you might not do it, all of this bullshit is going to bite you in the ass. You've played enough of these games to know that. Why are you still doing that?
Exactly.
Well, maybe she's had other people really dictate her moves beforehand. And so whenever she gets control of her game, she does stuff like this. Ugh. So Ben says Tori legit stated on the reunion show that she was never going to go for Big T because she sent her in. Girl, no one cares, and stop being fake. Whoa. Yes, I do want to say hi to everybody that's in the chat. So we do have Liz, we have Nicole, we have Ben, we have Natalie, we have a whole bunch of Sophie's here too, a whole bunch of people, and I think I said Nicole, but Nicole, if I didn't say you, that are chatting up a storm, but I don't think I can get to all their comments, but know that, like, we do appreciate you guys being there.
Oh, I'm reading them all as they come along, believe me.
I'm reading some of them. I'm like, oh, should I put that in now? Should I put that in now? So I'm going to start putting them in now, but it's kind of, we missed some in the beginning. For sure. Okay, so what was the point of Kyle being there? Oh, wait, sorry, I want to find that one behind the back one. Is this? Oh, okay, so Liz died when Big T asking to talk to Tori and was saying that Kyle was waiting for them. So perfect, because it's like, I like that Kyle is there to being the median and being like, don't do anything stupid, Tori. Like,
also, don't you remember last season when he was like, I love Big T, I stan her, and like, she's legit? Like, I think he literally has that bond with her where he's like, okay, I'll be there. I'll explain to her the logic of how we're not going to break this truce right now because it's way too early. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's why he was there.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it was random. It was random.
I was like, why is Kyle here? He wants to be in on the action. So before we get that, though, because like we do hear that Tori wants to take this shot at Big T, whatever. I will see the conversation with Devin being like, it's too early to take a shot at the vets, which we know it is too early to take a shot at the vets because Devin wants to still be safe within the vets. He doesn't not want the vets to start pointing fingers at each other because then he becomes like, ooh, like I can go against him if the vets are starting to take shots. So he wants the vets to stay together as long as possible. So this is definitely for his best interest. So Devin wants Emanuel because Emanuel was the person he was talking about in the preseason in the super trailer, being like he finishes top 3 all the time. Like he's worried about him as a rookie. And then Berna is somebody that also worries him. But he also says he thinks that Berna is weird. Why do you think he thinks Berna is weird? Maybe because he's dating, she wants to date Nelson.
Yeah, I think just because she's in the way with Nelson, and we know that Nelson's going to make stupid choices, just as he said, the emotional choices. Like Devin knows that's the way Nelson is, and is like, "Fuck, like, I just need her out of there," you know.
Oh, Fanta, you'll be happy to know that Berna is a Virgo. So yeah,
Virgo season.
Oh yes, your birthday's coming up. Ooh, what are we getting Fanta for her birthday? What is it, the 12th?
Virgo season. Putting out that dumpster fire that's Leo season, am I right?
I love Leo season. Those are my opposites, so I'm down with the Leo. So
I love Leos. Like a bunch of my best friends are Leos.
I prefer Virgo season.
You love Virgo season? Is that what you said, Michelle?
Yeah, I love it. Well, Virgo's my rising, and also I love I feel like Virgo season's a fresh start, and I like fall, and I don't love Leo season.
I don't know how I feel about Virgo season. I find Virgo men really attractive, and I try to date them, and then I find them really boring, and they try to make me really boring. I'm like, leave me alone! I hate you! And then I'm just like, ugh. No more Virgo. Guys, I don't know about women. I have some women Virgo friends like you, obviously. You're not like all the Virgos I know, Fant.
Yeah, I'm a bit chaotic, I've heard. I've heard I have Leo energy.
You do. If you were to guess your sign, I would never guess that you were a Virgo. You know what I mean? Right off the bat. But the fact that you like health and fitness and like your body, like that's a Virgo trait. They are for the body. So, and being outdoors, they love just like going outside and working out. So that is a Virgo trait for sure. Now back to this episode. We see that Tommy comes back from the doctor and he is concussed and is leaving the show. I wasn't expecting that at all. And I didn't even hear that he was leaving early.
Me neither. I'm so sad about it. I can't express how sad I am. Also, I read one of the comments that said apparently on some talk show, he said that he's done with reality TV. That makes me very sad because I think he's excellent. But I mean, whatever. He's won Survivor. He's won the hardest one to win in a way. Yeah. And one of the biggest prize monies, And he's got, a fiance and
do we know anything about his fiance?
He teaches still too.
Teaches.
Because I was thinking, I'm like, I don't know who his fiance is.
And now, he's on a show where, that has so much hookups and all this drama, and he has students that are going to watch it because he's on it.
Yeah, and they're in grade 4.
Yeah,
that's kind of that could be a bit much.
Yeah.
And I was in grade 4. I mean, obviously, reality TV didn't even exist yet, but would I watch that?
Yes. I don't know
if I'd watch that yet.
Yeah, especially now. It's so easy. If you're if you're 8, you have an iPad. If you're 5, you have an iPad.
It's true.
You would just know, there's no way that you could ever hide that. And I bet you he was like, I don't think this is this fits in my life.
Yeah, I mean, I think with maybe how he ended up going out with the concussion like that. Like they probably just didn't feel great.
He's like, this isn't safe. This isn't worth it. Like,
yeah, and it's
Screw
just
it.
kind of a weird. Like I really appreciated though Michele being like, I wanted to run this game with you, and like I really wanted to see what would have happened with them running the game together and like really getting a handle on it and watching them emerge from as rookies to like take over hopefully. So I am sad that she's going to lose him, but I know that she's going to reposition herself and she's going to find her way in. But the fact that she's quite good friends with Ashley and Amanda now, you know, like being on Instagram lives and chatting with them, I'm wondering what happens. Like she must go decently deep for that friendship to be so
also
deep.
like think about the fact that Michele always loses her allies at the beginning. Both times she played, her allies one by one got eliminated. And then she's always left having to scramble every single time. So I have no worries about that. She's going to be fine. Hopefully.
I'm not worried about her, but I would have liked to see the game that she wanted to play.
No? Yeah, definitely. Oh, of course.
So it was a little bit of a sad moment, of course. And Big T is really upset about this. She was partnered with Tommy and she wants to have like, you know, a private chat with him, just being like, just talking about how like he's such a good person and then how she really likes him and she appreciates him. And I thought that was a nice moment as well. And and he was saying to her, like, make sure that you hear my voice forcing you to get up and get on the treadmill. Like, don't be lazy. Like, you can get prepared for the final. So I like that he was also encouraging her to do well and maybe take them home the win.
Yeah.
Hope so. I mean, I don't really see her doing that, but I'm happy that he maybe instilled some good habits in her to get her to be in physical condition to be able to compete in the final. We'll see. So we have the nominations, and Tori wants everybody to, you know, guys, like, let's give everybody a pat on the back because, like, you know, we all did such a good job here. It's like, yeah, and you did the best job out of everybody. We get it, Tori.
But didn't she say like give it up to us though specifically? I felt like she said.
No, I think
that.
even us. She meant us collectively.
Okay, because I was like, this bitch, like.
I think she was like, give it up to us, like
yeah,
all of us.
Which I think then your next like the moment that you wanted to bring up that just came up after that.
When Ashley decides to be like, this is not what we're here for. Like, we're not here to give ourselves pats in the back. We're like making decisions. And then Hughie's like, Jesus Christ, Cruella.
I'm dead. I love it. I love their combination, honestly. It's entertaining as hell.
I just love how Ashley is so nasty now because of the whole Nelson thing, and she's just vicious.
A woman scorned.
So funny.
And then my eye roll of the nomination ceremony. Can you guys guess where that was? Eye roll? No.
Oh.
Yeah. I hated every part of it. I hated the fact that Tori like. I hate the way that she was steering that narrative. I felt like she was just again attacking Big T like out of nowhere, which Big T has never done that to her. And if Big T had done that to her, she would be so pissed. So I think that was just so uncalled for. And especially to like, if you guys are making that vet alliance, to show your cards like that there's like cracks in there. Mm-hmm. For any of the smart rookies, they'll see that and they'll go, okay, like these are my openings.
Exactly. Yeah. It's
a rookie team needs to win some power for sure.
Like Kaycee even pointing it out, being like, don't say that shit. Like even Kaycee knows, like that's 101. Like you're giving away so much right now. Tori plays such a messy game when she's to her own devices. She's fucked, and that's why she never wins. Like she gets herself in these positions, and she just doesn't think. The same reason why she can never do a puzzle. You know what I mean?
Even Kaycee. I couldn't believe I was agreeing with Kaycee. Like, yeah.
Well, that wasn't the eye roll moment I was thinking of. It was when we see Josh being like, so like if you think that you're on the chopping block, like, so I think this is like your time. Like we only have 20 minutes, so like we should just like talk and like decide who's like if you're and I was like, shut up, like you know that you're not in danger because you're a vet, and so like you want to give the floor up to these rookies that think that they might be in trouble, give them their opportunity to speak. I was like, God, you just need to say something all the time, Josh.
It doesn't. People don't want to stand up and make it known that they think that there may be a threat. Like Michele and Cory were silent for a reason. Because why should they say anything? At this point, they know what's going down. Like they don't. It's their choice if they want to. Like it's like in Survivor when you have the whatever, tribal council, and like you choose if you're going to explode. It has to be specific and for a reason. It can't just be emotional. Like it can't be in the moment. Okay, I need to plead for myself. It needs to be like, okay, what is each move I say and do gonna do? And so it sucks that then Tasha decided to say Michelle's name, because then that brought them into it in a way. But at the end of the day, like they weren't going to get the initial vote. So
this is the thing. So Josh says that, and I'm just like eye rolling. But then when Devin's like, well, like we like to say, like if not you, then who? And I was like, so that's kind of how you want to do it, because that's when Tasha and Jeremiah felt like they were in the hot seat. And they wanted to take the heat off of them and point the fingers to somebody else. Now, I don't think it was a great move for Tasha, but I can understand like Devin saying these things, and I'm okay with Devin saying these things. If Josh even dares to take that line and say it next episode, I don't even know how I can cancel him anymore, but he will be so canceled in my book, because he's just trying to make these moments when Devin just like says it just a lot better, and he gets what he wants out of it a lot better. Yeah. So Tasha just called Michele and Cory, and they are pretty pissed about that, and I would be. And then Devin reminds them that it might just be a women's elimination because of the fact that Tommy went home. So sorry, Fenty, you were going to say something?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay, sorry. So Josh is like nudging, Betty, speak. You should speak. Like, who's telling Josh?
If someone was fucking with my game like that, my political strategic game in any one of these games, and it's like, say something now in front of people that people can hear. What? I would look at them like this. Excuse me? You like, just literally, what are you doing? You're ruining my game. Like, I'm going to make a choice if I'm going to say something. Like, now you're making a moment out of nothing. Like, be silent. That was her choice. She was playing that card. She knew she had her drama with Tori, but it didn't need to be brought in, and she didn't feel the need to bring it in. She knew she wasn't going to get at least the initial vote.
Yeah.
Why did she need to fucking say anything?
Which made it more impactful, especially toward the end, because we see Big T's fine, and Tori ends up being public enemy number one, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and they also, like, Big T does end up saying something, talking about, like, the fact that she recognized that there are duos that are safe. And I was like, oh, I don't know if you should say this right now, Big T, but okay, like, you're getting angry, so I can.
Oh my God, that part made me laugh so much. When she was, when she, like, got on, she was like, and Nany and Kaycee are spending a lot of time together. I don't know, that like sent me. That was so funny. I was like,
it was too fucking funny.
I was like, yeah.
But then it doesn't matter how awkward it was of what she was saying, because then Tori just ruins it even worse by being like, and then you do this and like, oh, I'm laughing, it's a joke, but it's clearly not a joke because you clearly voted me in and I'm clearly sour about it, and me saying I'm not sour about it. And now, as you said, Fanta, there's the crack. Everyone can see it. You think Michelle's not taking notes?
Oh, Michelle's like,
yeah, Michele, Coriel, Berna. I'm sure, like, pretty much like everybody except for Gabo was
Esther will probably be upset, like, after this like episode. So
like, that was just, I just don't understand. I feel like Tori just gets wrapped up in just like doing things for the camera and trying to be funny and trying to be all these things, which is fine. Not everybody plays to win. but she's just not good at any of those things.
So Liz says Tori is an idiot in this game. She knows she is. Now she's playing into
into it probably.
Into it, yeah.
Worse. Just the definition of insane and keeps doing the same thing over and over, getting different results. Yeah, Tori hasn't figured out how to play the game. You're totally right, Liz. Like, she thinks she knows what she's doing, and she has the confession, like, I'm a bad, this is not what you should be doing. Like, she thinks that she knows how to be a good game player, but she actually just doesn't at all.
No.
And her only strategy that works for her is finding a guy that's better strategically and is good at challenges so she can get further into the game. But on her own, she ain't good enough. She ain't good enough, unfortunately. Nope. So the house vote is going to be Tasha and Jeremiah. I wasn't 100% sure how the house was going to go, but I think that it ended up just being an easy vote with them DQing from the daily. It's just kind of like, well, if we were playing the way that we would want to be playing, where it's like, if you do the worst, you go in automatically, that makes sense to me. Like, they did the worst, they should go in automatically. So I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but it didn't surprise me that it went this way. So then we see Big T talking to Tori, and Tori's like weighing in, like they're weighing their options. She's like, I'm not really sure exactly what I want to do. And that's when she says that, you're the only person that I have any beef against or whatnot. And it's like the cleanest thing that she could do. And I was like, Tori, I can't stand you. That's when she has a conversation, though, in front of Kyle, when he said that you'd be breaking the truce. And that would actually be very terrible for her game, because if she doesn't have protection of the vets, they are all coming for her, especially after this episode. She needs to hang on to these vets like with a vice grip, because as soon as that opens up, like, nobody cares about Tori in the game. Maybe Ed.
Aneesa.
Maybe. Well, Aneesa, but is she like, she's
to a
not
certain
ready.
degree?
From what I've heard, Ed, no.
Ooh.
Like, Ed doesn't like her?
I heard that Tori like came on way too strong with Ed, and he like wasn't interested at all. And then he told he was like telling people that, but she like tried like too hard to like sleep with him, and he wasn't interested.
That is awkward. Like, very awkward. Oh boy.
Oh my God. Can she not hold on for a fucking moment?
Just a minute. Kelz literally left 15 minutes ago.
Man,
Jesus.
Who is she going to bounce on next? I think actually it's Emanuel, because there's a moment where Emanuel seems to be dancing in front of Tori. So I'm wondering.
We know that that's a thing later, so that's what I'm pissed about. I'm like, I hope it doesn't happen on the show. I hope it just happens in life after.
No, I want him to be with Michelle. I don't want him to be with
Exactly,
Tori.
but we know that Emanuel and Tori have seen each other in real life. Like, we know that that's a thing, right?
They've seen each other in real life? I can't remember. I don't remember.
We were talking about this last week.
I don't remember.
That was
literally talked about 17 shows in the last week.
Fanta, weren't you saying something about that?
I don't think I was.
It was probably me.
I think it was you, Chantele.
There was proof that they had like spent time somewhere together recently.
Yeah. Ugh.
I don't remember right now. I'm sorry, my brain's fried. Hey, in the chat, do we know some tea about Tori and Emanuel? I know that I do remember Michelle talking with Ashley and Amanda about the fact that she really likes Emanuel, and like, you know, they were making fun of the fact that he wears socks with sandals and like stuff. I don't know. And just like, she's like, he could just rock whatever. Like, it doesn't matter. He can do whatever he wants. And like, she was kind of defending him.
Oh, that's a good sign. That's a good sign.
Yeah. So it didn't seem like they were dating or anything, but it seems like she really, really, really likes him. So I don't know if like they're holding off dating because like they're in completely separate countries and they don't want to spoil the show, or what, but it seems like she likes him still.
Cute.
Like,
I like that.
She's like, oh, I just like, he has such a good heart. You know, she really likes him. So Tasha, okay, so Tori goes into the bedroom to talk to Tasha and Jeremiah and kind of is pretending to be political by saying that she's basically going to give them whomever they want. And so Tasha gives her a name, and that name was Michele. That's who she wanted to go up against. I don't know why she would want to go up against Michele. Maybe she's thinking that she's small, like petite. But Michele wouldn't be someone to me that I would be wanting to go up against.
Definitely not. So stupid.
No, not at all. I mean, it is. Yeah, I would find out of everyone to choose, that is a tricky one. But I guess, like, if you really look at it, I suppose all of the women are like quite stacked.
Yeah, they are. But I think that I don't think Michele would be
Michele is physical, and she's also very intelligent. So
like
you could
Bettina.
You can really kind of screw yourself on that.
Bettina would have been somebody that I think would have been easier, but maybe they're better friends. Who knows?
Yeah.
True.
But But Bettina doesn't look like she'd be a strategical threat to me. I'm wondering if she was maybe saying Michele because, like, that would be. She would look like she's siding with the vets a little bit, like putting up somebody that, like, they would like to get out of the game, or maybe she thought that that's somebody that Tori would want to get out of the game. Like, I'm not sure why she chose.
I think it was kind of a combination of that, and also I think, like, I mean, Tasha is like very about pride, and I think that it was definitely a thing of like, okay, she's like, okay, well, I said her name in deliberation, so like I'm going to see this through.
Exactly. And even how they showed her, like, in her confessional saying after that, like, you know, my impression of Tori, she's fake. But that's what she says. She says, I thought she was fake, but then, like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she is genuine. She's helping me out by offering me this thing. And while Tori did say, oh, I'll do what I can, it's like she picked a rookie. Doing what you can would be like if she said, oh, I want Ashley or something, like a vet. And I'd be like, okay, well, I couldn't do it because of this. But, like, picking just another rookie says that you didn't take what she wanted into consideration at all. You were just saying that in case you, for whatever reason, decided that you were actually going to throw in Michele. And so it was so stupid the whole moment. And then it was just so gratifying to, like, for Tasha to see that, like, her instinct was correct about her.
Yeah, because, like, right after this conversation, she's like, I think Tori's fake. She's fake. Because she wants Michele T to go in, but like how, like, Tori goes in there kind of like acting like she was going to do them a favor, do them a solid, and give them who they want. And then she just thinks that she's fake right after that. I was like, yes, Tasha, like, seeing through whatever type of game Tori's playing. I was happy about that.
I love that. Yeah, that whole moment was useless. I was like, why even do this? Why even do this? Why even go in this room? Why shake her hand? Why do this?
So annoying. So Berna is cuddling with Nelson. Any points there, ladies? Any cuddling? So Cory, though, is really hyping up Nelson, being like, if Berna's going to have her name be called, like, Nelson would go in for her. And, like, you know, he's gone in for Cory before. And I was like, man, like, Cory's really hyping up his boy. Why are you laughing and shaking your head, Fanta?
Just because the whole thing is ludicrous.
He looks like Ludacris, actually. Nelson looks like Ludacris. A little bit. Anyways, go ahead. Not even a side by side, but in my memory right now.
I don't know if I can agree with you.
I definitely will disagree.
Well, I'm going to get a split screen of this now then. If you guys are both, like, actively disagreeing, I'm going to find, like, a split screen. Okay, go on,
okay. Go ahead. Okay, Chantele.
Go ahead.
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
It will help me sleep for sure. All right. Well, while I'm looking up a side-by-side shot of Ludacris and Nelson, we go to the lair, and the lair, Tori does a little bit of a fake out when she is announcing who she's going to be putting in, making it sound as though she's going to go for revenge, but not this time. Whatever, eye roll. I mean, I'm sure that was producer pushed, but I was just like, Tori, you're not going to be the one that's going to be able to land that one.
No, she ain't it.
No, not good. So she picks Berna, and the other person is Corey L. That it seems like Ed picked, because it seems like, you know, like the Tori got to pick the female first, and then Ed agreed with it, and then Ed got to pick the male first, and then Tori agreed with it. So
I think that it was Tori's plan for both, though. And by Tori's, I mean the vet's plan. She probably thought, okay, well, he's already been thrown in before, so it's the least blood on the vet's hands to throw him in again.
But like, why? Like, he was her former partner.
Yeah, that was a stupid move.
She should have kept that tie. Like, look at Devin, right? We're saying Devin is trying to build a rookie revolution, and like Tori had an in with Corey. Go ahead, sorry.
But Tori couldn't sleep with Corey.
So he's not good for her game.
He is a gay man, so Tori could not get in his pants. However,
maybe she could, though. I've made out with some of my gay guy friends.
No,
I don't know if I'd have any.
Tori else strikes me as like a non-bullshit type of man who would not touch Tori with a 10-foot pole.
He respected her so much and really wanted to work with her. Like,
yes, like he was so like lovely and like gracious with her. Like, it's truly flabbergasting to me. Like, I still just like every time I watch the show, I'm like, how is Tori still doing this? She has no cast management at all.
No.
Not at all. She's just not.
This is a political game, is it not? You need to manage the cast, like past, present, future. And she doesn't do any of that.
Only knows how to politic. Sorry. Said it. Yeah, it just was a bad move. But I was just like, Berna, please win. But then I was like, wait, no, I want Tasha to win as well. As like, shoot. So it's going to be Berna versus Tasha, because it's good. We're missing a guy, so they're not going to have a second guy win. So they did make them call out Corey L's name, which I love, because now it makes them in the hot seat. Like, Ed even was like having a little bit of buyer's remorse here. Like, why'd you make us say a name if like he's not going to be competing? And it's like, because it's the challenge, Ed. And if you're saying a name, they make sure that you're ready to deal with them if they don't go home. So I'm happy you got a little mini lesson on like the challenge, and when you have some power, like make sure that you handle it well, because the people might not be going home. You never know.
Exactly. And honestly, I was very, as much as I was happy, like I knew Berna was probably going to do decently well. Like, I have to say, as the elimination was happening, like I did really feel for Tasha and really wanted her to win, because she was really like doing well and like way better than I expected her to. And I just thought it would have been so epic for her to win. Like, it would have been a lot more drama and a lot more like, you know, but truth be told, I mean, if she couldn't complete the daily, like she never would have done super well anyway.
Yeah, this not being able to swim, as we know, is not a good look. There will be more swimming challenges, more challenges above water. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh. As much as I like Tasha, that's a very, very tricky weakness to have in the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And what a lucky break for Jeremiah, because I don't know if they would have had to do that challenge together, or if they changed the challenge to suit just it being a 1-1, or if each of them would have had to do it separately and it would be a time. Like, I don't know how they would have done it if both players were participating. But I think, wait, who was Berna with? Oh, he was CT. No, yeah. I guess no, he would have chosen they could have chosen anybody. So it would have been Corey L. So Corey L versus Jeremiah and Tasha. I think that Corey L and Berna would have won.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Sure. So I think that Jeremiah definitely got by here. And I knew that he was going to not be going in, or at least be winning, because we still see in the Supercut him making out with Amber B. So it was like, well, that hasn't happened yet. So we know that Jeremiah is at least lasting one more episode. So I don't know why they spoil these little silly things like preseason. Like, who cares? Like, don't you want the bang for your buck that like Jeremiah's not going to have to go in? Like, I don't know why they would spoil that.
Agreed.
It's so funny to me, because I totally agree with that. I have the best memory. However, for like previews, my mind is a sieve. and I will literally, as soon as I watch a preview, 10 minutes later, I will completely forget what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the reason why I remember this one particularly is like, I think I put it in our group, but like there was an article saying like all the makeouts of the Challenge 37. And so like you see them kissing. So I'd seen that picture and then I saw the super chat or before, after, I don't know which way it went. And so that's why it definitely stood out in my memory. I'm like, well, that hasn't happened yet. But yeah, I can understand not necessarily soaking everything up in the trailers, but this I witnessed because I was like, ooh, it was how I made my draft. I was like, yes, I think. Yeah, I was like hoping for it anyways, because like, ooh, it's gonna have like a I think I have Jeremiah. So yeah. So I was hoping
Michelle does.
I have Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's my other draft. I have Jeremiah. Who do I have in this one? Oh, I lost Tasha today. Boo. But I do have Amber. No. Oh, and I get 10 points for Berna. Just saying. So, not to spoil anything, but we see that CT is really helping Berna. So is Nelson's really helping Berna. And this elimination was back and forth. I was definitely like on the edge of my seat because they let it go on for a really long time. And I love Kyle's little confessional here with like, I have Ashley screaming in this ear and Nelson screaming in this ear for Berna. I thought that was pretty awesome.
It was
you
great.
guys laughing at that part?
No, I was laughing at that. That was so funny to just like watch them both like rooting for, rooting against Berna. I was cackling. Messy.
So messy.
Like she tells him she has somewhat feelings, and immediately in that moment, he starts completely being all over Berna constantly. He's like, ooh, I have feelings for this girl, blah, 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 blah. All in front of her fucking face when they're living in a house together, when he knows he's going to be able to fuck Ashley again when he gets back home, whenever he wants, because she's there and is available to him. And that makes me pissed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
that's all I'll say about that.
He's getting messy with this guy. Like we know what Nelson's all about.
Yeah, this is not
guys. We know he's like this. Ah, man, Ashley, you should know better. But she also just wants to have some fun, and messy Ashley is here, and I'm here for it. I believe she's on my team for this draft, and so get messy Ashley, my number one girl pick. So I was definitely really, really scared in this elimination, though, because like I really wanted Berna to win because I just didn't want Tori to get the person that she calls in to go home. Like I wanted that to happen. I did not want Tasha to go home because I just wanted to see more what she's bringing to the table. Like, you know, I've heard that she's definitely someone that speaks her mind. And so remember, I think I was mentioning this when we were doing the draft, that like, I heard that she's not one to mess with. And we do learn this. So after this kind of grueling final or lair elimination, it's called slipping up, and they had to put these poles. And were they poles different lengths? Is that why they were having so much trouble that they had to put the longer poles on the top? Okay. Yeah. So just like, I couldn't really see it from a distance. They never really showed it, so I couldn't see the lengths of the poles. Anyway, so people just like Berna kept on falling down. Then Tasha gets really close and falling down. And like I was like, oh my God, like guys, just like chill.
They seemed really unstable. Like the poles, you really had to hold your body in and like, you know what I mean, to keep them there. Obviously, height would have been an advantage, which neither of them really had. I expected Berna honestly to do better than she did. Like her stamina, like the fact that she kept going, as you said, and like she persevered was great, but like, yeah, she was knocking him over constantly and like falling. I thought she'd be more coordinated, but I think it's probably just way harder than it looks.
Well, this is what I'm thinking with Berna, is that it was harder than it looks because like Tasha was doing the same thing that she was doing. And then I was thinking, I'm like, is it just because they're rookies and they haven't figured out how to do something? So I'm like, I don't think so. I think that Berna was legitimately freaking out. Yeah. And that she wasn't focused and she was flailing and like not being particular about where she was placing things and then getting frustrated that she had to do it again. So I think that she did get overwhelmed and she wasn't performing well. But we did notice as soon as she said, I'm not doing this again. If I fall again, I will lay down and die or like I'll quit or something like that. She flipped a switch And that's what I think is the performance mode, circus mode, get on that tightrope mode, type of laser focus that allows you to complete these very challenging tasks. And so I just got goosebumps thinking about it. And like, it's a very precise thing that super athletes are able to do, or people that are doing very dangerous work, like they flip a switch and they're able to have this hyper focus. And so I think that that is something that she's familiar with, that mode and kicking into that super focus, and that she allowed herself to, okay, wait, just because I don't know how to do this doesn't mean I don't know how to focus and be precise. And I think that that's why she was able to complete the challenge in the end, because she went back to something that she's innately very good at accessing, that like that point of just perfect precision. That's what I think went on there.
100%.
It was really cool to watch though. And like, I love like CT recognizing it. And I think that moment, she's going to realize how good she can actually be at the challenge. You know what I mean? Before she was flailing, and now she's like, no. I know how to be good. Like, I know how to be great. I know how to be excellent. And she turned it on. And so I got shivers just thinking about it now. And I think that's going to make her a really fierce competitor. She had a bloody nose and everything at the end of it all. And she didn't give up. She was able to access that point. And I think that she's going to be a very good competitor from this point on.
100%. I'm looking forward to it. But I agree with you. I was like, damn, like I don't want Tasha to go home because I really like her. But I really like Berna as well. And I'm looking forward to seeing how she plays. And I thought it was cool, even like at the end when TJ's saying goodbye to them, like he doesn't always say this, and he hasn't said this for a while, but he said to Tasha, he's like, I'm sure we'll see you again in the future.
And she said, you've made Nigeria proud. Like,
what? Like, he never says shit.
But can we like take a moment
for
we're
like, coming there. Go. Take it. Bring us back, Michelle. Tell us.
Oh, okay. Cause like that part was amazing. And that I think a lot of that had to do with what transpired right before that, which was Tasha like having her fight. 5 points for Tasha, 5 points for Tori for that fight as well.
Okay, I wrote it down, question mark.
Because that was real. That was like out of nowhere, like ferocity. I know you guys obviously you love it too. It was epic. And also like putting her in her place, not letting her speak, which is great. Obviously Tori got so flustered, was like, well, can I speak? The end of the day, now, like, Tori's going to have all these excuses and all, like, oh, yeah, whatever. But the truth is that you did something unnecessary. You went to someone who was already going to elimination. You said, who do you want? I'm going to try my best. Because at that point, you thought, oh, maybe I'll put her in. And if I put the person that they want in, that's great. But in the end, you just put in her friend and didn't do what she wanted, put in her roommate. Like, you're obviously an idiot for doing that. Like, and she just thinks that they're going to stand back and just leave. No, I love that she said it, and it was so great. Like, it was so great.
Also love how Berna.
That was the best thing. Like, I stood up and I was like clapping, and I was like, yes, like I'm so happy that finally someone's calling Tori out. I think that like again, like I've said this before with Josh, when you have like really annoying people who are cast like Josh and Tori, they need foils. That's why it's really disappointing to see Kelz go. That's why it's really disappointing to see Tasha go, because these are people that are not afraid to put these people in their place. So long as they keep casting Josh and Tori and Fessy, they need to have people who will stand up against them, or else it's just fucking annoying.
Exactly. Yes. I'm fine with having people I hate if there's people who usurp them and like call them out on their shit.
Yes, because also the interesting thing is like now that like Fessy's basically got his like ass whooped by the whole fandom, and you see he's like now like really put himself in check, and his like his ego is like deflated a bit, but he's like not as annoying. And I'm like, I'm fine with that.
He's not as annoying because he doesn't have much power right now, but like if he gets power again, I'm sure his annoying side will come out again. Like it's coming for sure. So the one thing I did want to mention that I also loved is when Berna is hugging Tasha at the end, and she's like, I will fight for you. And I believe her.
Yeah.
She's like, you made Nigeria proud as well. She's saying this. And like, I believe that Berna will come back with real revenge and really be somebody that has like the potential of taking down Tori. Like, I feel like she could do it. And so I want to see Tori scared because Michelle's probably coming for Tori a little bit. Like, definitely Berna is now. Maybe a revolution is going to start now, and it's going to be getting the rookies together just to get against Tori. Finding a common enemy is always the best. They just need to get a rookie team to win and take a shot.
And the funny thing is that I don't really feel like none of the vets are really going to stick their neck out to protect.
Why? Who cares?
And which is great because like she's
no, I'm saying like they don't care about her. Like
he's gonna be like, oh wait, guys, like help, but they're just gonna be like,
you're bad for my game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm very excited to see that. I love TJ saying you did Nigeria proud as well, and I loved the fact that she wanted to stay with CT. There's no way that she would give up CT as a partner, but I loved how she just was like, saying that if you start with somebody, you want to go to the end with them, because if you don't stay with that same person, you won't be able to win the final. And I think she's right. I think she could win this final with CT. I do.
Potentially.
I mean, out of everybody in the cast, I think that their teamship would probably be the best.
Michelle doesn't like that because neither one.
I just think it's way too early to be making those assumptions because there's so many team change-ups that are going to happen.
Of course.
True. But I'm saying for her though, like I understand her logic of wanting to stick with somebody for as long as she can till the end. I don't know if it's going to happen.
If she picks Nelson, no, she's not that stupid. Like, you got to stay with CT. You have to. Yeah, that's her ticket.
And this is the thing too, is that like I feel as though, unlike Big T, I do think that she has a better chance of performing well in a final. So I could see CT sticking with her till the end because he will know that she can work with her, know that she has he'll know all the traits, and I think that he will also believe that she is capable of winning. So unless someone tries to take CT, I think that he would want to stick with her
for sure.
For now anyways.
I
agree. Well, that's pretty much it for the episodes. If we'll just see a couple of things in the chat. What are people saying? Oh, wait, off topic. What's off topic? The pandemic, though, I mean, I'm loving the hookups, but every time I remember that this wasn't filmed in, say, 2019. Yeah, I mean, I kind of just put that aside.
Yeah, they all quarantine so much and everything, and they're all vaccinated.
They get a test every 2 days, I'm sure.
Well, maybe Nam wasn't. I don't know. I don't know science. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why. No, like a few of them. They said a few of them did test positive. Big T apparently also test positive at some point. Then there was a second quarantine. So maybe after the second quarantine, then they maybe Nam tested negative and then tested positive after that. I'm not sure how it must have gone down, but Michelle and Amanda and Ashley, they all talked about the fact that Big T also tested positive, and it doesn't seem like she left the show. So maybe after the second quarantine, she tested negative and continued to test negative after that. Like, I'm not sure how that went down.
Yeah.
Just Liz doesn't really like Berna, but she thinks she's too emotional. Is that the Virgo-ness? Because the opposite of Virgo is Pisces. So is that how do you feel about her being emotional since you guys are the same sign?
I just do comparisons, right? Like, I don't think she's any more emotional than like anybody else, really, specifically like me. So
and he's a Pisces though. So it would make sense that she's emotional because she's a water sign.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't really see Berna as being super emotional.
Yeah, I haven't really felt that she's been emotional either. I kind of see her as like, reacting to the fact that she's been pulled into this weird love triangle with like a psycho non-ex-girlfriend, I think she's just like, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just trying to play this game that I'm unsure about. I haven't really seen her be that emotional, but I like her. I'm willing to allow her to be emotional if she has to be that way. She's put in her comfort zone. Yes. Or out of her comfort zone. Okay. Hi, Sean. Thanks for being here. I'm glad they show her dragging Tori before she left and included the receipts.
Incredible. That was so good. And like also so smart to like do that. Like for sure ticket to next season.
Back. Yeah. She's
100%.
back.
Like casting is like, yeah, okay. Tasha's
like,
coming back. Make sure Tori's in the season.
Mm-hmm. So Liz says Aneesa won't even help Tori. Yikes, yikes, yikes. And I heard Nam had a scheduling conflict that he couldn't stay with the extra quarantine. Really? Oh.
Like for what? For what?
I don't know. I mean, the way she's emotional on challenges out of
like
her comfort zone.
When she's out of her comfort zone, she's more emotional.
Yeah, so like when she was jumping off the cliff. Yeah. I mean, she still did it though.
Yeah.
I'm okay with a little bit of freak out. Like it's not the same freak out as like when Cara Maria freaks out, like, you know, going out in
when she wouldn't take the needle to get the IV.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm visualizing. Yeah. No. Anyways, that is all we have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Everybody here in the chat, you know we love you and appreciate you here. We come on after the episode just to be having these conversations with you because you guys are the best, as well as you, Michelle, and you, Fanta. You guys are the best. I do think that you guys are the best challenge fans out there. Like, I do not enjoy talking about the challenge with anybody more than I like talking about it with you guys. So thanks for being here with me tonight, or with us tonight. So are you guys working on anything that you want to share with the people before we say sayonara?
I just wanted to say thank you. Like the chat was like popping off tonight.
Yeah.
So it was like a lot of combos happening. That was a lot of fun stuff. So thank you all for being here. It's fun. I am working on a charity event right now for All Out. They're an organization that helps support LGBTQ plus rights and people who are seeking asylum and have their lives threatened all over the world. So we're putting together an event and like kind of putting it together with my birthday and a couple of other friends' birthdays. So we'll be publishing donation links within the coming weeks. Any little bit counts, even it's just $1 or whatever you can spare is really awesome. So yeah, working on that right now and hoping that it will be put well together. I don't know.
It will be. Of course, you're taking care of it. So I'm sure that you will do an amazing job. When you have a link, just let me know and I will definitely include it in the description box so that anybody wants to contribute, that way they know where to find a way to contribute. So definitely want to support that. We appreciate you sharing that with us. Thanks, Fanta.
Thank you.
Ding. Michelle, anything going on with you? I mean, like, this is pretty like amazing. You're like, well,
Nothing
I'm watching White Lotus, and it was really good. I love seeing Steve Zahn's balls.
Honestly, I'm just
good. It's so good.
I'm just mourning the loss of Tommy on the show, and I'm finally going to be on set on Friday for something, and I'm a little bit scared because it's been a while.
Me too, Michelle. We're both on set on Friday. Yes.
Anyways, I'm excited. It's gonna be fun, and yeah, just living day by day. And I'm excited to contribute to your charity event. I'm excited.
Thank you.
Awesome. We stand you too, Nicole, Liz, everybody in the chat. That is also awesome. We love hanging out with you guys every week. If you haven't done so yet, that would be very surprising. But just subscribe, be part of the fam. Come join us in these conversations that we love to have every week about the challenge, our favorite show. And if you feel inclined, maybe like this video and leave a comment. Tell us, what do we want to know? We want to know, do you think that Fessy and Josh have any more life after this season? Do you really think that they're going to be called back? Because I don't know if they're worth it anymore. I think it's played out. I think I'm done with it, especially seeing what some of these new rookies are bringing. I'm like, I'm interested in them a little bit more. Thanks. Can we have somebody new? So
I wonder what it will take.
Hopefully, like they will do it to themselves and they'll like fight. So
well, there's going to be a fight next week, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, that starts with them. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I hope it goes great. I love everybody here. We'll see you next week. Thank you for